Interactive Central and Eastern Europe Festival, presented by Orange, driven by Toyota Hybrid, in association with Xaxis.
Hello everybody, thank you Dragos. So yeah, a crazy project, like you're saying. The crazy person that started it is right in front of you. I'm happy to be here and to be presenting at ICEEfest. I've watched over the years shows, some more oriented towards technology and some more to marketing. And I see that they are starting to converge, and I think that's the right way to happen because technology is in marketing a lot, and marketing needs to be in technology a lot more than it really is right now. So, I'm going to speak to you about Vector, and to make this really interesting, being the last presentation, I hope there's still some people in the room because I cannot, I have a big light, I cannot see everybody. I'm going to start by giving you a recipe for success. So, if you want to build, it's very simple. It's a simple recipe. This is it. It's all that you need to know. However, as somebody was asking me what makes this recipe a global product, because the title of the presentation is how to build a global product, is, as you'll see, is just apply this recipe at a global level. It's very easy. Product. I'm not going to speak a lot about the product right now because the rest of the presentation is about the product, and I'm going to ask you at the end to use your ICEEfest app to give me feedback about the product, as you'll see it in the presentation. But in order to do anything, you need to have a unique or a quality product. It has to be either unique or quality. Ideally, it would be both unique and quality, but at least one of the two. The most important aspect of this recipe is the timing. This was it's a recent study. I'm sorry that I don't have the link to the article, but somebody really did a study on all the startups, all the technology companies that succeeded in the past decade, and the single most important aspect was timing. Was not the idea, was not the people, was not the product, was the timing. And why is the timing right? The timing is right because over the years I've been in technology for like maybe 20 years. Maybe some of you in this room have this age. So in the past 20 years I've seen technologies like the internet, like mobile. A lot of technology is appearing and evolving. And many times, oftentimes 2, 3, 4 times, I was sorry that I did not jump in the boat. I saw the boat, I was pretty sure that the boat is going to be a successful one. I did not jump into it. Or I jumped it with just one leg, so not with both legs in. So this time when I saw a couple of years ago sport bands and some kind of smartwatches appearing, I really knew this is it. It's probably the last big technology thing that I will have the energy to get on, so I jumped with both feet in. The timing was right for me. I mean, the timing is right for the market because from the PR perspective, we've launched at Basel. Maybe you have seen that launch or some echoes in the social media, and that timing was very right because Apple just announced their smartwatch with a 1-day battery life. They really said 1 day. A couple of weeks before we launched at Basel, which is essentially a watch-only show. We were among the 10 smartwatches that were shown there, so that's why it was very easy to get in top 10 smartwatches shown at Basel. And we were even in top 3 from them, so that was even better. Why? Because everybody was saying, look, these guys are able to do 30 days. Apple, just 1 day, come on. So another example of the timing. People. You have to have the best people. That's clear. And I have to say that I was lucky enough to start with some of the best people, and then we were joined by the best people in their field. And I cannot underline more. In a startup, the people are the most important, asset, because they make things happening. And of course, you have to have money. I mean, the hardware game is a much harder game than the software game in the sense that it comes with a lot more cash expenditure. I mean, you have to have a lot more cash in order to bootstrap it. And if you are to attract money, then it's important to attract smart money, not to attract just money and use it. It's important to get investors, and we are happy to have the guy that you just saw before speaking why Silicon Valley cannot be done in Romania. He's trying to do it, but he doesn't recognize it. So Radu is in our board and the principal investor, and he's not put just the money there. He's also both fit in and helping with the development of the company. And at the end, if you have the greatest product, the best timing, the best people and all the capital in the world, if you don't manage this properly, they can all go to waste. So you have to have the management resources and experience. So that's why we hired one of the most experienced CEOs that used to be the CEO of Timex, and other top managers have demonstrated abilities to manage people, money, and resources to get to a desired outcome. So, this is it. This is how Vector came into play. I'm going to speak about the product a little bit, and I'm going to come back and to touch a little bit on these things throughout my presentation. I'll try to keep it short. I know it's the last one, and I'll try to keep it under 5 minutes from now.
It's not the last one. We still have startups and so on and so forth.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. So, yeah, I would be. I mean, I'm envious. It's very interesting to pitch as a startup, to get investment. It's a very, very interesting age in the life of a startup. For us, Vector, and this is how we're defining the brand, Vector represents what truly matters, and we try to put, not to put all the bells and whistles that most of the competing products have, and to put on the wrist what truly matters to be on the wrist. Convenience truly matters. Both me and Joe have seen battery life as being one of the biggest problems in selling smartwatches, in selling any kind of smartwatches. He has had a vast experience, even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, building smartwatches with a very short battery life that nobody wanted to buy. Therefore, our technology allows us to have 30 days battery life compared with 1 day battery life, and an always-on display that allows you to see time and other information at any time. Design truly matters for us, and for a watch which is the most important for a man, the most important jewelry for a man, and why not also for women, can be an important accessory. Designed to look like a watch and feel like a watch with premium materials, with stainless steel and leather and silicone. That's very important. So we came with the less gadget, more style, and with a watch-first model, where we put the watch first and then we start building on the smart features on top of it. We're thinking of the smartwatch revolution as the quartz revolution was for the watches industry, I don't know, 20 years ago. When they appeared, everybody ignored them, but after that, they pushed away a lot of the mechanical watches that our grandparents were winding, and most of them remain just as very expensive antiques, but all the others became electronic. Also, we did not start, so starting a watch, you have to start with a collection. So what we are going to be offering is a full collection of materials and finishes, and this is the performance collection. The Luna collection is the round watch, and here also we did not say people want only round watches, or it's easier to build rectangular watches. So let's build those. So we built both such that the customer can decide which one is best for him or her. This is the Luna, is the round one, and this is the performance series. This is the contemporary series, and the classic one. And of course, our Meridian collection that complements the round one. After that, so you have a great looking watch with a great battery life. What do you want to do with it? And what we think is that you don't want to do with it is play with it, because you have your phone, and the phone evolves to bigger and bigger screens. It didn't shrink. So people who are trying to shrink it and put it on the wrist and have customers play with it, for sure they will have, it's for Apple has a lot of, is a big brand and has a lot of followers. But soon enough, the customers will realize that the bigger screen offers a richer experience. So if they don't, and they did start to customize the watch experience to be less interaction and more relevance, they are consuming time rather than saving time. We will start with a few time displays, both analog and digital, alarms that can be set from the mobile and from the watch, timer, a sleek chronograph, world time that automatically changes when you get into the airport. The time changes and the world time stays in sync. Activity, you get activity measurements like steps and calories and distance, and also sleep tracking with the same 30-day battery life advantage. You get to know where you are through the day and what else is there for you. And the thing is that you not only are seeing where your time is blocked, but you see where you do have time and where you can spend it more efficiently. And last but not least, the only killer app so far on the smartwatches has been the notifications. Move the notifications from the phone to your wrist. This was seen as the biggest advantage, that you don't have to take your phone and look at it whenever it rings or it buzzes. However, some of the current watches light up pretty strong, and everybody sees that you have a notification. Sometimes it can even be read from across the table from you. We have a different approach where notifications are discrete. There's only a ring that appears, and only if you look in the first 10 seconds you see who gave you the message or who is calling you, and you can take the call or reject the call. So these notifications are hidden unless you look at the watch. And also the watch doesn't light up. It's an always-on screen that functions in available light. It doesn't have to have a backlight, but of course it does have a backlight for the cases where it's really dark. And finally, in order to expand the watch and not be just a feature watch that you buy, you use, and then you toss away, it's a full platform of apps. So what we're offering is a platform where you can build watches that run on in the cloud and then display information on your wrist. So you can see weather or sports results in real time, or news, where you can tag a news article and get it on, to read on your phone. Who knows what, not everybody in Europe knows what Nest is. Nest is a thermostat that's very widely available in the US, and you will be able to set the temperature in your home from the watch. And another feature that shows the contextual awareness and the less interaction value is the contextual morning, where you see your alarm, you see a good morning message, you see the weather, you maybe see the first meeting in your calendar, and all this as you wake up and as you either put the watch on or you wear it and you look at it. Everything is complemented with the app that works on all three platforms, Android, iOS, and Windows. that has a watchmaker allowing you to download even more faces. We'll have our designers do more faces and even third-party designers that the users will be able to download and to install on their watches. Multiple time zones, everything is piloted from the mobile phone. And this is the activity app where you can see the current day and also a graph for the past week, month, or even year. This is it. It's less annoyance, more convenience, less gadget, more style, less interaction, more relevance, less distraction, more discretion. This is Vector.
This is the sound of today, out of balance and out of tune. Pings, beeps, buzzes and jingles, they all fight for our attention, invade our space, and consume our time. What if technology could simplify our lives, not add to the noise? What if it was intelligent enough to know what matters and what doesn't? We believe in technology that is more in tune with who we are, that knows our rhythm and understands how we like to spend our time, that turns noise into harmony. So that we can get back to doing what we love without any distractions.
Ladies and gents, Vector and Andrei Pitis.
Interactive Central and Eastern Europe Festival, presented by Orange, driven by Toyota Hybrid, in association with ICEEfest.